Hey everybody. So I'm gonna continue with the palmar aspect of the carpal and the metacarpal bones, and I'm gonna add a few things here that might be interesting for your if you are studying this topic at the moment. Let me just change my pencil because I thought I've got the blue one, but I think I took the wrong color. Yeah, this one looks more like the blue one. Let me just check here in the corner. Yeah, this one looks good. And for the insertion, the red one. Okay, so let me just double check if this is the red. Yeah. I'm gonna start with the origin of transverse head of adductor pollicis brevis pollicis. Sorry. So the origin of the of transverse head of adductor pollicis is this area here, the front of the third metacarpal bone. Okay, and the third metacarpal bone. This is the origin. I really like these pencils, to be honest. It's a bit overpriced but I like the bright color. Might be one of my favorites, at least until I have enough conditions to pay for the Carandache. Okay, this is the origin of transverse head of adductor pollicis. Origin of the transverse head of adductor pollicis. Then we have the insertion of the opponent's digit minimi, which will be here. Then this is the insertion. For the ligament, I'm gonna use the green one. Okay. Then this one here, I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, it will not be great, to be honest. It's supposed to be green here. You can slightly see that there is a green one here. This one is actually representing the attachment of the pisohamate ligament, which is located on the hook of hamate. Okay, this one here. Then we have the attachment for the metacarpal ligament here. Okay, attachment for the metacarpal ligament, pisohamate ligament. This one here. Rub the red color. Here, in this area, we have the insertion of flexor carpi ulnaris. Insertion of flexor carpi ulnaris. Why ulnaris? Because the radius is towards this way, ulnar towards this way, and this one by convenience is for the carpi ulnaris. Hey Magnus, all good and you? How are you doing? Doing well? Okay. Guys, thank you for the likes. Hi, HGIJW, 12 years, I guess. Yeah, welcome. Hello. Okay, next one. Here we have the insertion. We have the insertion here of abductor pollicis longus. Insertion of abductor pollicis longus here. And then we have the insertion of opponens pollicis, which will be here. I hope you are all having a great weekend, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna finish all of this, and then I will recap everything. Okay. Then we have here the insertion of flexor carpi radialis. Insertion of flexor carpi radialis. Just remember, this is the first row, second row of carpal bones, and here we have the metacarpal bones. Oh, nice. How old is your grandfather? And we have the origin of the oblique head of adductor pollicis, which will be here, in this area here. I like these colors. I know that I already said this, quite bright. And 82 years, wow, amazing. Considering that nowadays this generation is quite sick, full of inflammation. Yeah, your grandfather is doing well. So guys, just to review all the areas I label here with these different colors, I'm gonna use the blue, the red and the green to show you the areas I actually label here. So starting with the origin of transverse head of adductor pollicis. Origin of transverse head of adductor pollicis. And then here, this one here in red, oops, in red, this one is the insertion of opponens digiti minimi, okay, which will be into the medial margin of the fifth metacarpal. Medial because the pink finger is actually positioned towards the body. Yeah, I'm not sure if I will be able to answer, but yeah, just ask. Here we have this one here is the attachment of the pisohamate ligament, attachment of pisohamate ligament, and the attachment of pisometacarpal ligament. Pisometacarpal ligament. I'm gonna tell you. This one is the insertion of a flexor carpi ulnaris, into the pisiform bone, and as you can see here, continues to the hamate and the base of the fifth metacarpal bone as the pisohamate and pisometacarpal ligaments respectively. So this is the this one is basically the insertion of flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay, I started drawing back in Brazil when I was younger, I was probably 11 years old when I did when I took a 4 months comic training. And so after that, I just I was just drawing by myself, drawing, copying, basically copying comics, copying. Back in the 90s, was quite common to have when you used to buy the CD player of PS1 of the games. They used to come with a manual, uh, 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 um, a small magazine or a card with informations about the game and some drawings. And I used to copy all those drawings. And because lives move you to sometimes you need to do different things, I started working on my 13s, and then I was just working, studying, working and studying, and I didn't draw too much. Back I was when I moved to Europe, first to Italy in 2017, I decided to draw again, and then since then I had uh, I had times where I had to stop, times where I I I drew a lot, and then since my masters I've been drawing regularly. Sometimes I stay 1 week without draw, but now is much more often than used to be. Oh, this is another thing. I also do 3D illustrations as well. I know how to work a bit with Blender, and I'm already working on some on some drawings. I don't think that I can I think that I deleted probably. If you go to my Instagram, actually if you go to my TikTok, which is the same name of my YouTube channel, VisualMed by Leo, you will see one of the drawings I made from of the Street Fighter. Yeah, for sure. Life is truly a puzzle. Yeah. Yeah, good analogy. Okay, so then we have here the insertion of adductor pollicis longus, okay, into the lateral side of the base of the fifth metacarpal. Actually, first metacarpal. And then we have what else? We have the insertion for the opponent's pollicis. And then we have here these two representing the insertion of flexor carpi radialis into the palmar surface of the base of the second, third metacarpal. And blue one here. No worries, no worries. I heard about, yeah, no worries. The origin of oblique head of adductor pollicis. I hope you can have a nice start of week, and I will see you again probably tomorrow. Yeah. Guys, I'm still doing some drawings here. So next one, moving to the next drawing, which will be yeah. Peace. Cheers, mate. Okay, let's go for the next one. Okay. So here I'm gonna draw the hand. Actually, I'm gonna draw the bones of the hand. This is supposed to be the thumb. This is also the palmar aspect of the hand. Here I'm drawing the 5 metacarpal bones. First, second, third, fourth, and then we have the 5th metacarpal bone here. It's a bit higher, but it's fine. I can't forget the carpal bones. Trapezium, trapezoid, captate, and then we have the hamate here. Trichotron, psiform, lunate, and then we have here the scaphoid bone. Remember the mnemonic for the carpal bones? So long to pinky, so S of scaphoid, long of lunate, to trichotron, pinky, psiform, here comes to thumb, the thumb. So here hamate comes captate the trapezium, trapezoid, trapezium, thumb, trapezium. Okay? Continuing with the drawing here. I'm now finishing the phalanges. And we have 2 phalanges on the thumb, 3 on the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, also 3 phalanges or 3 phalanx. And then we have here the 5th one. Okay, here we have the bones of the hand. Then we have the insertion of flexor digitorum profundus, which is here, flexor digitorum profundus. We have the insertion of flexor digitorum superficialis. Oh, sorry. Cheers. Okay. For the flexor digitorum profundus will be at the base of the distal phalanx, and for the digitorum superficialis will be into the margin of the palmar surface of the middle phalanx. Now we have here the insertion of the second palmar interosseous. Here. Okay. And then we have the origin of the second palmar interosseous from the second metacarpal here. Okay. Then we have the insertion of a flexor pollicis longus into the base of the terminal phalanx of the thumb. Insertion of flexor pollicis longus here. We have here the insertion of an adductor pollicis. Insertion of adductor pollicis into the medial side of the base of the proximal phalanx, and the insertion of abductor pollicis brevis into the lateral side of the base of the proximal phalanx of the thumb, which is this one here. Then we have the insertion of opponens pollicis into the first metacarpal, insertion of the opponens pollicis here. And then we have the insertion of the fourth palmar interosseous. 9 is the insertion for the fourth palmar interosseous here. And the insertion of abductor pollicis minimi here. And then we have the origin of the fourth palmar interosseous here. This one insertion of opponens digiti minimi. Insertion of opponens digiti minimi. Origin of the third palmar interosseous here. Third palmar interosseous. And origin of the transverse head of the fourth head of adductor pollicis from the third metacarpal, this one here. Okay guys, so this is palmar aspect of the hand. Tomorrow I'm gonna talk about the dorsal aspect, but I'm gonna finish now the live. I hope you enjoy the topic as I enjoyed, and tomorrow we have another session at the same time as usual. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers.